Sabrina, thank you. Now, the district attorney has asked area media outlets to withhold the names of dozens of witnesses, even though they must state their names when testifying in open court.
Law enforcement official in this county, understanding the climate of fear that exists within the community, understanding the hesitancy that many witnesses experience in coming forward and doing what I would consider the right thing, I simply made that request.
In making the request yesterday, the DA's office gave the impression the witnesses were all children. Today we learned he was asking us to withhold the identities of witnesses ranging in age from 15 to 42. Today we named a witness who is on the DA's list because he's over 18. He admitted he lied in testimony he had just given a few minutes earlier. We heard that in Sabrina's report. News Channel 13 believes the openness of our judicial system is important and should not be compromised lightly. News Channel 13 will decide to name or withhold a witness's identity on a case-by-case basis. One local attorney says the DA's request not only diminishes the freedom of the press, but also promotes the don't snitch culture of Albany street crime. Joining us now, attorney Mathew Tully. Good to have you with us. How do you see it promoting that don't snitch mentality, Mathew?
What the district attorney has done is he's attempted to make the people that are testifying guilty, and what's important here is that we don't treat the witnesses as they have done anything wrong. It's critical that we protect them, but we don't treat them like they did anything wrong.
Well, how is this promoting that we're treating them as if something was wrong?
By making them feel guilty that their names are going to be in the paper. Call me old-fashioned, but I believe it's your duty to serve on a jury, and when you witness a murder, that you testify in that murder case.
Do you think the DA was inappropriate then in asking media outlets to abide by what he wants?
It wasn't necessarily inappropriate for what he did. What's inappropriate is if the news media doesn't use those names and doesn't fully and accurately report the news.
So you think what we did today was right?
Absolutely.
How does this compromise our judicial system by not naming these witnesses?
It's critical for the public to understand that the judicial process is fair and accurate. And the only way the people out in Niskayuna and the other outlying areas know that it's fair and accurate is by knowing all of the facts without withholding any information from them.
Does it make any difference? Initially we were told these are all juveniles. Now it turns out some of them range in age, witnesses up to the age of 42. Does that make any difference?
Yeah, absolutely. I could understand if it was a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old that was testifying. We want to do everything we can to protect those children. But over 18, they have a duty to testify, and there are New York State laws that protect witnesses from intimidation and tampering.
One other question, Mathew. Would it make a difference, or should the DA, if he made this request of the media not to name names, should the DA then have not called them by name in open court? Should the DA have provided some kind of protection so that no one would see who was testifying? We've seen this in mob trials.
Absolutely. And if the evidence was that clear and convincing that there was a clear danger to these witnesses, you could have done that. There are mechanisms to protect witnesses when there is imminent danger. The John Gotti trial coming from New York City, very familiar that they did a lot to protect witnesses. Here, there's no such, clear and convincing evidence. All you have is this, there's snitch policy that people are going to get hurt if they cooperate with the government. That has to end, and we end it by enforcing the laws, not by asking the news media to withhold information to shame people into testifying.
Mathew Tully, attorney, thank you very much for your time and insight.
Thank you.